Hey guys, welcome to the Liberal Hive Mind, a channel solely focused on exposing the abundant hypocrisy of the left. And so I guess here's the inevitable final play, the final pivot, the last option that Democrats are stuck with here, which was funnily enough mostly described as their worst option, as an absolute no-go over the last 3.5 years. Apparently now, Kamala Harris jumps to the very tippy top of the list, even though Joe Biden is insisting that he's sticking in the race. And so I guess the last little bit of hope here comes in the form of a Kamala Harris presidential run. The whole conversation has magically shifted overnight. Kamala Harris went from damaged goods that the Democrats were trying to hide. As we all know, back then she was certainly bringing down the White House. They went from keep Kamala Harris away to Kamala Harris is the future of this party. In what, the span of a week and a half? The desperation continues. Democrats are grasping at straws, grasping at literally anything at this point. We've officially reached the literally anybody but Biden stage. Let the copium continue. Let me show you guys exactly what's going on. We got some stuff to get into, so let's roll the tape. All right, folks, so I think I laid out the context pretty clear. Take a look at this absolutely insane copium.
Kamala Harris, the vice president, I'm going to call her vice president now because I keep calling her. She is like, in my view, an undervalued talent. She's a very fierce communicator. She's very strong, especially on one of the core issues that made the election maybe won or lost on, which is abortion rights. And they said, this is why I think when she did a couple of interviews after the debate, I was sitting on the set with a bunch of other NBC anchors and everybody was like, that was great. It's like, yeah. That's what she's doing out in the country and nobody is really tracking it. It's just, that's who she is. But there is a caricature out there. It's almost like public opinion hasn't caught up with what she is doing out there. And also we live in a country that is sexist and racist. So like there is that. Not everybody at all, but there is a level of it that does impact elections.
Yep, so there you have it. That's the new Democrat pitch for the presidency. This is our candidate and she's the greatest. But the reason you don't like her is because you're racist and sexist. Really? That's your pitch? Our candidate is so great. She's not the problem. You are. The same sort of gaslighting garbage we've been dealing with Joe Biden. Oh, you're just a bunch of right-wing conspiracy theorist kooks. A bunch of hateful bigots spreading misinformation about our great president online. Meanwhile, the president's chewing on rubber and drooling all over the frickin' floor. And now we're in the same situation. We now have a possible next president of the United States, whether Joe Biden's on the ticket or not. He either resigns and then Kamala Harris assumes his post, or let's just be real here, Joe Biden's getting to the end of his days. He happens to fade away naturally and then Kamala Harris takes the position. So we're talking about the possible next president of the United States, and this is the pitch, that Kamala Harris is an undervalued asset. Why haven't we seen Kamala Harris? Oh, I wonder, Jen Psaki, why we haven't seen Kamala Harris. Because the Democrats tried that. They tried that back in 2021, and even early 2022, they appointed her the border czar. We all remember her don't come moment.
Do not come. Do not come.
I'm gonna come.
You know, they tried putting Kamala Harris in the spotlight, and what ended up happening? She was such a monumental disaster that she became the literal least popular vice president in American history, and in fact, she was so bad as a public product that she was even bringing Joe Biden's numbers down. An undervalued asset. I wonder why she's not around. She's so incredibly elegant and amazing, and wow, her messaging on abortion, it's just, I can't even describe it. Am I stupid? You know, again, we come back to the same point when dealing with these Democrats, the way they talk to us. Am I dumb? Does it say stupid on my forehead? Do I give off that impression? I don't feel as though I should, but maybe I do, because the way these people are speaking to me is as if I'm the biggest moron on the planet. She starts off with Kamala Harris as an undervalued asset and then transitions into Kamala Harris is an eloquent speaker doing a great job on the campaign trail. Really?
When we talk about the children of the community, they are children of the community.
Talking about the significance of the passage of time, right? The significance of the passage of time.
So when you think about it, there is great significance to the passage of time. We got to take this stuff seriously as you are, because you have been forced to have to take it seriously. You need to get to go and need to be able to get where you need to go to do the work and get home.
Kamala Harris might have some qualities, all right? I'll try to be as fair as possible. I don't see them, but maybe she does, Maybe she bakes a great pie. Maybe she's really good at basic arithmetic. Maybe she's really good. Right off the bat, she'll tell you 75 times 85, that's 6,375. Maybe she's a math genius. I don't know what she is. Maybe she's got some qualities, and maybe she's got some talent. But I'll tell you one thing, public speaking ain't one of them. Being a marketable, charismatic leader that really appeals to the public, yeah, no. Cackling Kamala is the dictionary definition of the word cringe.
Wow.
And Democrats have known this forever. And that's simply because it's a fact. But as we know, Democrats play real loose with the facts. They're willing to totally disregard the facts as long as it means protecting their own asses. Let's be real. Kamala Harris was never an option. Kamala Harris was a token pick, and I know Democrats are so insulted that people call her a DEI hire, but for Pete's sakes, Joe Biden literally picked her because of the color of her skin and her genitalia. She was never meant to be the future of the party, the next president. She was meant to give Joe Biden a marketing angle for specific voter groups. And now all of a sudden she's the best choice. Now all of a sudden, this is what the world needs.
They taught us that we could do anything and should never be burdened by the limitations of other people to be able or not be able to see what can be. And this is that community who understands and can see what is possible unburdened by what has been.
That's Kamala Harris building on her unburdened by what has been quote that she absolutely loves. I don't know where she got it, or maybe she invented it back in the 1980s when she was smoking reefer in the back of a VW bus, listening to Tupac and Snoop Dogg, who weren't even recording artists yet. Maybe during her high times at Westmount High, Kamala Harris came up with this amazing quote, "Listen, bro, you must be unburdened by what has been." Kamala Harris freestyling, riffing on one of her favorite phrases that she repeats constantly.
I can imagine what can be and be unburdened by what has been. What can be unburdened by what has been.
What can be unburdened by what has been.
What can be unburdened by what has been.
What can be unburdened by what has been.
What we can see, what we believe can be unburdened by what has been.
What can be unburdened by what has.
She is horrible, and Democrats obviously know this. We're all keenly aware. Democrats know that Kamala Harris is a horrible public speaker. They know that she's got skeletons in her closet, that in a debate format she's politically vulnerable, and of course she isn't a great enough speaker or quick-witted enough to protect herself in those moments. We all remember when Tulsi Gabbard ended her presidential campaign straight up in 2 minutes.
Senator Harris says she's proud of her record as a prosecutor and that she'll be a prosecutor president, but I'm deeply concerned about this record. There are too many examples to cite, but she put over 1,500 people in jail for marijuana violations and then laughed about it when she was asked if she ever smoked marijuana. She blocked evidence that would have freed an innocent man from death row until the courts forced her to do so. She kept people in prison beyond their sentences to use them as cheap labor for the state of California. And she fought to keep cash bail system in place that impacts poor people in the worst kind of way. When you are in a position to make a difference and an impact in these people's lives, you did not. And worse yet, in the case of those who were on death row, innocent people, you actually blocked evidence from being revealed that would have freed them until you were forced to do so. There is no excuse for that. And the people who suffered under your reign as prosecutor, you owe them an apology.
They know all this. They're just willing to lie about it. They're willing to now rewrite history because their back's against the wall. And of course, they're the most partisan, disingenuous group imaginable. I see this across the Western world. When conservative voters are pissed off with their leadership, they don't vote conservative. Look what just happened to Rishi Sunak in the UK. And look at the last 2 Canadian elections where somehow Justin Trudeau got reelected magically twice in a row. Both of those instances aren't situations where liberals are just winning the vote. It's It's more so the conservative candidate is so trash that conservative voters don't want to support that person. That's why Nigel Farage's Reform Party is skyrocketing in the UK, because conservative voters actually have a backbone, and if they feel as though in representative democracy that their representative isn't representing them effectively, well, they simply won't vote for them. They'll vote for someone else or boycott the vote. Yeah, Democrats don't do that. Democrats will vote for a vegetable. They'll vote for Kamala Harris. They'll vote for corrupt Hillary Clinton. They'll vote blue no matter who. It is a cult. The truth is irrelevant. Electing the best candidate, certainly irrelevant. At the end of the day, it's all about party power, collectivism, expanding government, and doing it at any cost. And so here we are, I guess the script is flipped. Kamala Harris is now the most qualified person to be president. What a total joke. Oh, and by the way, this whole shift is because one poll just got released showing Kamala Harris as relatively competitive in the general election. One poll in a sea of total obliteration. I mean, just look at this RCP average. Let the Democrat copium continue. That's what I got for you guys. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.